What is your basis for saying that the committee that set up this alternative institution, VWIL, decided not to have the same adversative method that VMI has because it thought women couldn't handle it, as opposed to the fact, which is what they said, that they thought not enough women would be interested in it?
They said that it would
which
not
is not
be
at all
appropriate.
It shows to my mind that they're pretty smart.
The planning documents says that it's not appropriate for most women. Our point is not, we don't quarrel with, because I think it's unknowable, whether it's appropriate for most women or not most women. Our point is that it is inappropriate to say to a particular woman who says, I want that training, you can't have it solely because you're a woman. In thinking about this case, Justice Scalia, I've tried to relate it, as we're all trying to relate it to our own situations and things we're familiar with. I've tried to relate it to something that I've had some experience with, which is legal education. And I thought, what if a state set up a state law school in 1839, all for men, because at that time only men could be lawyers. And over 150 years, it developed an extremely adversative method of legal education, the toughest kind of Socratic teaching, tremendous time pressures, tremendous pressures in exams, tremendous combativeness by the faculty, tremendous competitiveness among the students, and developed a reputation for that. And the graduates of that school, and it was a place that was known as hard to succeed at, and a third or so of the people flunked out in the first year. And the graduates of that school who survived that process became known as expert leading lawyers and judges in that state and nationwide. And then as women came into the legal profession and started to apply to the school, to ask it to change its admission policy, the school made a judgment that most women really wouldn't be comfortable in this environment. And the faculty would have trouble cross-examining them in the same way they cross-examine women. And other students would have difficulty relating to them in the same competitive way. And so it's better not to let women into this school. What we'll do is we'll set up a new women's law school. And it won't have the tough Socratic method. It'll have a much warmer, a much more embracing environment. And it won't have large classes with a lot of pressure. It'll have seminars. And it won't have tough exams. It'll have papers and things like that. And every woman has to go to that law school. And no man can. And no woman can go to the old law school. I think we all understand that that is not by any means equal treatment of women with regard to their access to the legal profession.
Well, it depends on whether, in fact, those findings that the law school would be destroyed, that it's in the hypothetical you pose, those findings are obviously absurd. Those findings are not absurd in the context of VMI.
I disagree with that.
That it would destroy the nature of the institution.
We disagree with that, and I'd like to turn to that if possible. I think the principal basis for the states and VMI's assertion that it would destroy VMI to permit women to come in is the finding which we have mentioned before, that the adversative method is unsuitable to women, and therefore we couldn't continue to use the adversative method.
No, Mr. Bender, I think the toughest finding is the one that says that if you allow women in, you won't be able to have the same success with the adversative method, and therefore women can't get what they seek. That's the thing that it was the hang-up for the Court of Appeals.
I don't think you can say that no woman will be successful with the adversative.
No, it isn't whether it be successful. The point of the finding that I wonder if you agree with the Court of Appeals' construction of the district court finding that in concluding that if they were to require the admission of women, so forth and so on, the very opportunity they sought because it would not be available to them because the characteristics of the institution would be different.
Well,
and what's your response to that finding?
My response is the characteristics of the institution would not have to be different if women were admitted.